Hi everyone, and welcome to another episode of Webbing the Surf, brought to you by Customer Bloom, whose business it is to grow your business. Today is a super special episode for me because I am joined by my partner in crime, Graham Mattock, who is usually the man behind the lens. Graham, I know it's extremely uncomfortable for you to be on camera.
I hate this.
Thank you for joining us. I'm super pumped. Graham, why don't you tell everyone where we are?
So we're in a place called Playas Las Tortugas, which is maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours north of Puerto Vallarta.
Graham and I have birthdays that are pretty close, and this is our fourth year, I think, in a row.
Third or fourth, yeah.
Fourth year that we come up here for a long weekend. Amazing place, and just another perk of being able to work wherever we want. I mean, believe it or not, they have internet out here, and it's pretty good. So I'm super pumped to have Graham on the show because his specialty is photo and video, and to me it seems like if you wanted to become a digital nomad, that's a great career path to follow, huh?
It is. I mean, starting from the beginning, I'm kind of, I guess, self-taught. It's a passion, so, you know.
What did you do before you became a photographer?
So before I was a photographer, I was a programmer for maybe 10 years, kind of working online, semi-digital nomad. I ended up having an opportunity to move around to the States, and eventually ended up here. I came for a week, and that was 6 years ago. But because I was a programmer, I was working online, I could pretty much stay here, and I wasn't earning much money, to be honest, but I could live quite affordably here.
That's the beautiful part about Mexico, is the cost of living. But you've been all over the place. I mean, in the past couple of years, you've traveled more than I think anyone I know. Yeah. What's been the best spot you've hit?
That's the problem. When you're kind of working, if I'm working with photography or video, normally the schedules you get are pretty intensive. So you're up at 6, you know, get to bed till 11 at night, you know. So even though you're staying in these amazing places, hotels, resorts, you don't actually get the time to enjoy it as much. You do get the odd off day, but I don't know.
You make it sound like you've had no vacation. I think I recall you sailing a boat through the Mediterranean recently or something.
That was in Croatia, yeah. We looked at hiring a captain, this and that, and it kind of worked out, not cheaper, but a little bit, you know, kind of the same as hiring a captain if I got my own license. So I got my captain's license here in Vallarta. And then, yeah, we chartered a boat in Croatia, Dalmatian Islands. It was incredible.
The pictures looked amazing. How did you transition into a career of photography? And now you're more of a videographer now, right?
Yeah, pretty much. So, yeah, going back maybe 3 or 4 years, we actually had a company, White Bulldog Media. It was not
legendary.
It was pretty good, but you were the marketer designer. I was the kind of programmer, and so we did that for, I don't know how long we did that for.
Almost 2 years, I think.
So that went on for that amount of time, and we just found that it just didn't work for us down here. We couldn't get the company started, we weren't making much money. Clients were trying to get us down on price, and we just didn't like it. I don't think either of us really enjoyed that job to a point.
It was rough.
So I think there came a point where I think even your wife was like, all right, enough. You guys are done with this, trying it. So you went your way, and then I decided to take my hobby up, which was photography, videography, and just try and make it down here, because I thought there was a market. You know, there's a lot of photographers down here, but video, there's not really that many good videographers down here. And I just saw a gap, and I thought, you know, it's so cheap to live down here. I'm going to give it a go. There's nothing to lose. So yeah, I gave it a go, and yeah, 2-3 years later, I've traveled with my job. I'm earning a lot more money with my job, and I'm enjoying it 10 times more than it was when I was a programmer.
Well, I think, and you can back me up on this, so Gary Vaynerchuk says, you know, every company in the next 10 years will become a media company, and then what they do second, like media company first, because it's all about producing great imagery. Yep. And I think we both believe that to be true.
Exactly.
And it's kind of mind-blowing how people don't want to invest
time and energy
in photo and video.
I think that's why we got a couple of things on the go, like especially this, where if you mix the skills of having a programmer, SEO guy with a media guy, that's a kind of match made in heaven for any company. All you're putting in is your time, so to speak, to start any company you want, you know?
So somebody who sees this like Shane, who was on the a previous episode, who had no skills that enabled him to be a digital nomad, wanted to be a digital nomad, was like, okay, I'm going to go acquire new skills. For somebody who's looking at this, looking at you saying, oh, okay, I want to go down that route, what's your number one tip for starting as a photographer or videographer?
I mean, obviously it has to be a passion. Don't do it because it's kind of cool to be a photographer, videographer.
It seems pricey, right?
To do photography?
To get into it.
No, not at all.
What?
Not at all. It's all about getting to know how to use a camera, using the light. I could probably take as good a picture on that as I can on that, and that's probably 5 times more expensive than that.
So you had made this comment, and I don't know if you really believed it or not, but I have a Sony Alpha 6000.
Which is a really good camera.
And you said to me before I was buying a camera, and I said, which Canon should I get? And he said, honestly, you should just get a mirrorless Sony. And I thought you were saying that because, like, oh, you're an amateur.
No.
But then you made a remark like, if you were starting over again, you would go mirrorless?
I've changed. Technology's changing so much right now, but that was maybe 6 months, a year ago. The mirrorless market is coming, but there's still a place for DSLRs, I think. The reason I said that is because that's such a big camera. The DSLR is a big camera, it's a pain to carry around. The mirrorless isn't.
Right.
And there's a couple of Sonys on the market now that kick that ass, to be fair. And it's better in low light, better everything. But for me, like I said, I changed my mind on what I want because I'm going more towards videography. I want a specialized video camera. And whilst the DSLRs do a great job, I think,
And what do you edit on?
So I use Adobe Premiere, which for me does everything, no problems, never crashes.
It's like Premiere versus
Final Cut.
Final Cut.
That's the two, yeah.
And so speaking of tools, like what are the tools you use every day that you couldn't do your job without?
Tools, hardware, or you mean software, or? I mean, I got a ton of apps. I can't show you now, but on my phone, there's this, I can't remember the names, but there's basically apps where you can tell you where the sun is, like an overview image, so you can see where it sets, what time it comes up. But apps, I guess Evernote is my big one. I'm always
use Evernote?
Yeah, like because I have no mentors down here. I can't go to school. I can't teach myself. So everything is online. And what I found is that when I do a course online, I got Evernote open on the same side, and I'm making notes all the time. And at night, I just go through my notes and just re-summarize everything I've done. So yeah, Evernote's my big one. Any.do, I think you used that one maybe a long time ago. It's a super simple to do application list. Like you got a web version as well, and you got an app, and basically they kind of sync. So every time I got to do that, I just quickly put it in, and then it's at the top of my to-do list, and it's a simple swipe and it's done. So yeah, Any.do. Another big one, it's not necessarily for my job, but it's to help, is it's an app called Headspace, which is...
I was wondering if you were just going to say that. I keep telling myself to check that out.
It is. I'm one of these people where I've got many things going on and I need to focus. Like focusing is the number one problem I have. And honestly,
it works?
That app is freaking amazing.
Really?
It sits you down. It's actually some English guy. I think he used to be a monk. And yeah, you got different lengths of meditations, but I kind of stick around the 10-15 minutes. There's like a course you can do, but yeah, Headspace is...
So you just put your headphones on and you sit back for 10 minutes and then you come out.
Yeah, meditation is not what a lot of people think, but that's a whole new episode, but I highly recommend this. I think you can download it for free and there's 10 free sessions. But yeah, meditation is, I think for any entrepreneur, it's you gotta focus and know what you focus. And he actually says, I think a lot of the end of the meditations, okay, now just sit back for a minute, figure out what you're going to do for the rest of the day, and he just focuses you, and that's really good app.
I have to check it out. It sounds like it makes a lot of sense. So where are you going to go from here? What's next on your travel list?
So right now it's kind of the end of the season, so a lot of my work is weddings, wedding video, and I have a lot of edits to do, and that's kind of the nomad style that I can choose, because I can film them here and then I can edit wherever I want in the world. So I've been going to Mexico City a lot to edit, just to get away from Vallarta, so I don't shoot any more stuff. I've been in Monterrey quite a bit, all around Mexico really. And then in August I'm going to Europe for probably a month and a half, traveling over. Back to England, my hometown, to see my friends and family, and then we possibly Berlin to see a cousin, and then Spain, but we'll see.
Graham is from Nottingham, so question, Robin Hood, real or fake?
Is in between. I don't know.
Was he a real guy?
I don't know. You can't say. I mean, there's a lot written about him, and there's a lot to prove, and you know.
Of course he was.
I guess it's a bit like Jesus, I guess, in a way. I don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Is he real or fake? It's different.
I'm a believer. I think he was real.
Okay. Jesus or Robin Hood?
Both.
Okay. Okay.
I think a lot of people out there could benefit. I think your field is a fascinating one, and I really believe, like with Vaynerchuk, that you're going to have endless amounts of work. Like,
yeah, and just before we finish as well, I think a lot of it is if you're trying to get into photography and video, do a lot of stuff to trade. That's how I started. Like I ate at restaurants for free for a year or two. And that actually made me lazy at cooking, but...
Well, the first time we came here, you were trading, right?
Right, so yeah, there's a place just up the road. Actually, it was an Instagram post. I took the drone out here last year. We took the drone out, did some stuff, put it on Instagram, and then someone found me on Instagram and they said, hey, would you do some more stuff when it's a little more green? And I'll trade you one of these villas for a week. And I was like, hell yeah.
We got to come as models.
So we got to come, but yeah, going back on my point, I think if you're starting out, you really want to do that. Find someone that needs you, do a good job, and think of payment last. Don't think of how I'm going to get paid for this, how I'm going to get paid for this, because that's always a common mistake.
See, that's a piece of advice that from my side of the world, the digital agency side. We help our clients find local photographers. Like literally, I'll just go through, I'll use a program called Follower Wonk, search for people that mention photography in their Twitter profile within the area of my clients, and then help them try to build a relationship like, hey, what can you trade with this guy, because you can't afford to pay him to come every week and shoot photos, but you need the photos every week.
Yeah.
So can you trade him something?
Exactly, do it for free.
Which is, maybe we should build a website that
new idea right here.
sets that trade up.
Edit, cut this.
All right, we gotta go.
Back to the pool, beers.
If you are following on YouTube, give us a follow. Facebook, it seems like we've been doing better on Facebook video.
Yeah, a lot better.
And if you have any questions, drop them in the comments. We want to start answering questions in the next episode that were posted on the comments before. And don't forget, work the web so you can enjoy the surf, whatever your surf may be. We'll see you next time.